Hi, I'm Fraser Douglas, the avid tent camper. This is a beautiful week in February of 2018 with daytime highs around 70 and nighttime lows in the 50s. So Ava and I decided to pack our camping gear and come camping in Cloudland Canyon State Park, Georgia. Now, I've already done a video on this park and you can look back and watch that video. But in this video, I want to show you how we have set up our tarp shelter. It's kind of windy, and so we felt like we needed some kind of shelter from the wind.
Tent camping has been an important part of American life for over 300 years. Soldiers lived in tents during the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, and the Indian Wars. Pioneers camped out during their long trek from the east out to the western frontier. Texas cowboys camped out for about 2 months as they drove cattle from Texas up to Kansas and Nebraska. And American families camped out whenever they traveled or vacationed in the early 1900s. Whenever these people set up their camp, they frequently set up a secondary shelter to protect them from the sun and rain during the day. This secondary shelter was sometimes called the kitchen fly, a rain fly, a dining fly, or just a tarp shelter. Here is one early tarp shelter. This is a small tarp shelter attached to an individual's tent. And this is a baker tent, which serves as a tarp shelter during the day and a tent at night. In cool weather, a campfire would be built just beyond the tarp roof, and this campfire would have a back that would reflect the heat into the tarp shelter. When I started camping back in the late 1960s, I had a small army wall tent and a canvas tarp that I tied to trees over the picnic table. Several years later, I bought a poly tarp and a couple of 6-foot poles and tied the back corners to trees. A few years later, I bought a larger 12 by 15 tarp and several poles to set up in front of our tent. And on one trip with a couple of friends, we hung another tarp as a wall so that a friend could sleep on his cot during our trip. I even bought a larger 10 by 20 tarp, but this tarp was destroyed by high wind on the first setup. I used this large tarp setup for several camping trips over about a 5-year period and gradually became dissatisfied with it for several reasons. In addition to the large tarp, it had 9 poles, 12 guy lines, and 12 stakes that required considerable packing space. In addition, it required excessive setup time and excessive striking time. It did not provide any protection against the wind and very little shade during the early morning and the late afternoon. When it rained, frequently the wind also blew, and it blew rain under the tarp, and the tarp roof would hold water that had to be physically pushed out. I looked at a few screen rooms, but they were small and very expensive. But on a trip to Wisconsin with a couple of friends, I decided to buy one, but boy, was I disappointed. When we set it up over the picnic table, we barely had enough room to walk around the table and certainly didn't have room for any additional chairs. So, to sit in the screen room, we just had to sit at the picnic table. And since the screen room was considerable distance from the fire, frequently at night we had to choose whether we wanted to sit in the screen room or sit by the fire, and we usually decide to sit by the fire instead. And finally, when you opened the screen door, a dozen times or so to walk in and out, eventually it becomes filled with mosquitoes, just like you didn't even have the netting. Plus, it was very difficult to set up and take down, and so I never used it again after this trip. I decided to try a little bit smaller tarp with some lightweight aluminum poles, and that was a little bit better, but I was still looking for a better solution. Then I looked at some pop-up awnings and some extra large screen rooms. But everything that I looked at just seemed too expensive and not large enough for our needs. So I continued using a small tarp on many trips. But I knew I had to have 4 poles because many campsites did not have trees in the right place to hang the tarp. I decided that an 8 by 10 tarp was about the best size for us, and I needed 3 8-foot poles and 1 6-foot pole, plus guy lines and tarp stakes. In this configuration, rainwater will always drain off of the low corner. We prefer to use Eureka aluminum nesting backpacker poles because they fit into our pack easier, but they are expensive. So you could use stainless steel poles or aluminum adjustable poles or just 2 by 2 wooden poles. To make each guy line, I start with what I call a leverage loop. It is a short piece of cord about 12 to 15 inches long with an overhand loop tied at each end. One of these loops will slip over the tent pole tip, and the other loop will be used to secure the guy line with a taut line hitch. The taut line hitch can be slid up and down the line to adjust the tension of the guy line, but once it's in place, it will hold fairly tight. At the far end of the guy line, I'll tie a simple overhand loop that will be double wrapped around a 10-inch guy line stake. The placement of each guy line is shown in this diagram. First of all, I place the tarp flat on the ground, and then I extend out 3 to 4 feet from each corner 2 guy line stakes, one in line with each edge. After all of the stakes have been driven into the ground and the guy lines have been attached to them, we then lift the tarp with the poles. The 6-foot pole will be used to support the left front corner. Once this tarp is set up, we'll attach a lean-to wall to the back of the tarp and we'll back our car up to the front of the tarp. When we attach the back wall to the tarp, we found that it is best to move the 2 back stakes over to the sides. We used this 2-tarp setup for several years. At first, we just moved the picnic table under the tarp, but after a while, I got older, picnic tables got heavier, and it was hard to move them. So eventually, we began packing small tables and using them so that I would not have to pick the picnic table up and try to move it in the campsite. In 2016, one of my viewers saw the 2-tarp setup in a video and suggested that I add a 3rd tarp to give me more shade and protection from the rain. And so I tried it and really liked the extra covered space. I also began watching a lot of cold weather camping and bushcraft videos and noted that many of the shelters had 3 sidewalls, a campfire that was built just beyond the roof, and a reflector wall behind the campfire that reflected the heat into the shelter. This past January, Ava and I took a short cool weather camping trip and decided to drop the right side wall to vertical position to block some of the wind. Since we had an extra tarp, I folded it in half to make a sidewall for the lean-to back wall, and it helped to block the wind a little bit better. When we returned home, I cut the top and the back lean-to wall to the sizes that I wanted, and then I also folded another tarp in half diagonally and cut triangular sidewalls for the lean-to back wall. For each cut side, I folded it over about an inch, put a bead of glue under it, and then taped it with duct tape. And then I added some grommets. And now we've brought it back out here to Cloudland Canyon State Park for a test run. Our top still measures 8 by 10, but our back wall now measures 10 by 10. To hang the sidewalls, we used short pieces of cord to tie little loops through the corner grommets, and then hung these loops on the tent pole tips. One side of the lean-to sidewall is secured to the pole with short pieces of cord, and the other side is secured to the back wall with clips. With the lean-to back wall and its two side walls in place, we have a nice protected area to sit, play games, and eat our meals. We've set up our stove and food preparation area along the right side wall, and we backed our car up to the front. And in this configuration, we don't have to carry our kitchen supplies very far into the campsite, and we have everything ready to cook a meal. And because it's so windy here, we've added a third guy line to each front corner. Since this campsite is nice and wide, we pitched our tent on the left side of the shelter. And in the future, we hope to build our campfire with a reflector screen in the spot just in front of the tent and to the left of the tarp shelter. But in long, narrow campsites, we may have to pitch the tent at the back of the shelter. When the time comes to pack up and head home, we can roll all of the tarp pieces and the poles into this small package that is about 2.5 feet long.
Well, I hope this video gives you some good ideas about how to make a tarp shelter for your camp sometime in the future.
For more information about campsite setup, please read my book, Basic Tent Camping, and visit my website, www.basictentcamping.com.
Remember, take more trips, travel further, visit more attractions, and save money. Go tent camping.